shining through. Every day a new adventure waits for me and you. Can you feel it bursting, that yearning deep inside? Ain't it great to be alive? Now is the time, now is your time to follow your heart and follow your dreams. Live your passion, that's how it should be. To follow your heart, starting today. Live your passion and love life every day. Live your passion at Mandani Bay. Wake up to a brand new view that takes your breath away. This is what was meant for you, and it gets better every day. Can you feel it deep inside and in nature all around? Love has been waiting to be found. Now is the time, now is your time to follow your heart and follow your dreams. Live your passion, that's how it should be. So follow your heart, starting today. Live your passion at Mandani Bay. Take my hand, it's time to go. I'll take you to the place everyone should know. That place in your heart, can you hear it calling? With happiness and love, you'll soon be falling into your life, into your life. So follow your heart and follow your dreams. Live your passion, that's how it should be. So follow your heart, starting today. Live your passion and love life every day. Love life every day. So follow your heart, starting today. Live your passion at Mandani Bay. Live your passion and love life every day. Live your passion, Mandani Bay.
Hello, everybody. Good morning to each and everyone. My name is Blinky, and I'm so thrilled and excited to be with you all, virtually. I hope that you're as excited as I am from where you're from. I'd like to greet all of our fellow Bisaya. Maayong buntag kaninyong tanan. And since our webinar here is world class, we are also viewed, we are live via Facebook page of Mandani Bay. So we'd like to greet all our different audiences from across the globe. Good morning, and also perhaps good evening as well for those who are still living somewhere there out there at night. Good evening and welcome everyone. We are so excited to have you all on board here in our webinar series. This is in fact our first Rise episode webinar series. I hope you are all thrilled and you all, had breakfast and feel energized, feel optimistic as I am, because this is truly indeed a very exciting day. Well, all of us, speaking of rise, every day, no matter what, we really rise up, whatever life throws at us, right? And this COVID-19 pandemic certainly changed the way people live, including how we do business and how we do events as well. To be honest, there are moments that I really miss having that personal, interaction with my audience. But we are now in a different phase, different season. So we have to really adjust, Every day has always been unpredictable, but no matter what, we rise up, and that's the most important thing, because just like the jingle, which is, by the way, has always have that retention in my brain, the Mandani Bay song, the jingle that has been playing for for many years in radio station. I love the lyrics of it. Mandani Bay has always been very true to its promise about making each and every day better. So if you have a good morning today, we'll make it even more better with our webinar series that we will all get to share. And also, I love the fact that the lyrics also has something to do with loving life every single day. And no matter what, let us constantly love life and enjoy life. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. But this is not an ordinary Saturday. In fact, it's going to be very informative. We will get to learn from each other, most especially from our panelists. And, you know, with the limited movement that we have and with the physical distancing protocols, guidelines, and the need to be safe at the comforts of our home, most businesses, if not all, in fact, are really shifting their gears and really adapting to the digital tool in order to ensure a safe and convenient business transactions. And with that, of course, Mandani Bay is always a step ahead in order to ensure a seamless return to operations. Mandani Bay, in fact, just recently launched its reboot campaign with a battle cry of a hashtag, "Together We Move Forward." And this is really the essence of what we are all experiencing right now, because truly, I'm sure you will all agree with me if I say that there is nothing more important than really helping out each other in these trying times. It's been really challenging, but don't worry, we all feel the same way. We are, in fact, experiencing the same amount of emotions every single day. But yes, Mandani Bay believes that it is important that we all face these challenges together and we help each other, and also we take care of each other. And cautiously and responsibly, we will move forward with gratitude. Not only that, with a deeper sense of purpose and a hope. Let's constantly have hope in our hearts that we will get to bounce back. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. We get to bounce back bigger, bolder, and of course, stronger. And we get to get back on our own 2 feet independently with the rest of the world as well. So are you with me in this? So together, ladies and gentlemen, we will really rise up to the challenges that we are all facing right now. And speaking of rise up, our webinar for today, we will be talking about exactly that. A lot of changes. Every day has been so unpredictable, including the trends. Yes, of the architectural designs, which is very interesting because the trends now has to do and has the need to incorporate our pandemic as well. There's so much to talk about. I'm really excited because we get to learn from a very esteemed speaker, our panelists for today, all the way from Hong Kong. That is right. We are having our panelists live who will be talking with us and, you know, sharing to us what these trends are all the way from Hong Kong. And we, of course, with Mandani Bay, we are always one of the first to get a peek into what the tomorrow of the architectural world brings us. And in this first episode of Mandani Bay's Rise webinar series, we have no less than the Hongkong Land Chief of Design, architect Stanley Ng, who will be talking about the various world-class architectural trends for the evolving communities. I know it's very, very interesting, right? But here's a trivia, of course, just to highlight even more about our Hongkong Land. Did you know that Hongkong Land is a listed leading property investment, management, and development group? Not only that, Hongkong Land also owns and manages almost 800,000 square meters of prime office and luxury retail property in key Asian cities, primarily in Hong Kong and in Singapore. The group has also a number of high quality residential and mixed-use projects under development in cities across Greater China and Southeast Asia. Hongkong Land Holdings Limited Incorporated in Bermuda and has a standard listing on the London Stock Exchange as its primary listing. And not only that, it also holds a secondary listing in Bermuda and Singapore. Hongkong Land is also a member of Jardine Matheson Group. Now, enough about me talking. Let's now allow you guys to have a walkthrough of what Hongkong Land is all about. So eyes on screen and let's all watch.
Hongkong Land is one of Asia's leading property investment, management and development groups, with an esteemed reputation for creating premium quality office and retail buildings and upscale properties for residential and hospitality. Its vision centers upon the four land concepts of success, prosperity, inspiration and opportunity. The company was incorporated on the 2nd of March 1889. It created Central Hong Kong and is the single largest landlord with 12 interconnected Grade A buildings that span over 450,000 square meters of prime commercial space. A dynamic landscape that has become its land of success. Hongkong Land's portfolio in Central, one of Asia's leading central business districts, attracts the world's foremost companies and luxury brands. This is epitomized at Landmark, the leader of luxury urban living with a heritage for prestigious shopping, dining, and lifestyle experiences. This success in Hong Kong has spurred the company to expand its footprint in Asia through the land of prosperity. In Singapore, the company has developed premium Grade A commercial and residential spaces at Marina Bay Financial Centre, One Raffles Link, and CityLink Mall, and has built some of the city's luxury residential properties. In Jakarta, the company owns a portfolio of prime offices and upscale residential buildings. In mainland China's key cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Chengdu, and Chongqing, the company is developing high-quality residential properties and is the name behind one of Macau's prestigious developments. The company's land of inspiration is brought to life through sustainability programs. By publicly displaying its valuable art collection, through innovative ideas and improvements, and iconic architectural designs. The land of opportunity is where Hongkong Land creates value and opportunities for its tenants and buyers through world-class quality management and services. Hongkong Land is embarking upon the future with upcoming plans that will enhance the region's key central business districts. From its roots in Hong Kong, it owns a growing portfolio across Asia. This innovative vision as a premium quality developer, together with the traditions of partnership, integrity and excellence, will guide Hongkong Land as it continues developing for tomorrow and beyond.
Very warm greetings from Exchange Square, Hong Kong. I think we are very fortunate. We have a very sunny morning this morning in Hong Kong. As you can see, I'm in headquarters of Hongkong Land in Exchange Square Central. Besides me is our central portfolio. So I hope everybody can enjoy the views behind me. Today we are going to talk about world-class architecture trends for the evolving communities. I think this is a very interesting topic for everyone, especially this year. The whole world is changing, and I think the human behavior is also changing. So in architecture industry, we are not slowing down. I have to say, we are doing a lot for the past 6 months on studying and researching and how do architecture deal with the current pandemic situation. So it was a very interesting subject. Actually, I have to say it's a very interesting subject. We have never imagined that we will go through all these topics in the past. I think for my past 30 years of architecture practice, we have been dealing with, how to be creative, how to make our building nice, how to make it look beautiful, how to make our environment comfortable. But we have never think about how to design a safe space for ourselves. How do we make ourselves safe? I think it's never been our priority. So now we are doing it. We are doing it seriously, and we are looking at it seriously. And today I'm very happy to share with everyone that what we have been doing and what is the trend. May not be a trend. What is our solution to the current pandemic? And maybe let me start with some of our thoughts. I think in the end, I think there are two main aspects that we think from the architect point of view that can help our community to face the current situation. First is, of course, by our professional skill, design principle. How can we design a project that is safe? It sounds impossible, right? But it is, and when you look at it, it is actually possible, and it's quite surprisingly it's possible. And then, of course, the second one, we have to get a lot of help from our innovative idea, some innovation, some technology, and the technology that we are talking about today they are technology that we think they are feasible, they are practical. They are not the technology that we have seen in Facebook, in Instagram, those kind of fantasy story. No, we are very practical. We are doing things that we are looking at things that we think they will work. So let's start with the first topic, the first aspect, the design principle. So, okay, how do we design a safe and healthy community? As I said, it sounds impossible. It sounds like it's very far away from us, but we are doing it now. We are facing this every day. So let's look at how we deal with this issue from our side. Okay, I said social distancing. I think we are doing this every day now, right? I think the whole world is getting tired of social distancing, but we still have to do it. But when can we stop, or when can something help us to improve this social distancing thing? We are getting very tired about it. Or is this the solution? Are we going to do this every day, or for the future, or when will this end? I think throughout our studies, I think we have gone through a lot of solution on how to design a very healthy environment for the community, and interesting to find out that actually quite a lot of them we have already done it in the past. I mean, we just found out that as a well-behaved architect or a well-behaved developer, some of this solution it's it's in your normal practice already. So what we have to do is we have to enhance it a little bit and then add a little bit here and there. Then I think we have a solution. We have some solution. So these are the 5 design principles that we found out as very useful to us, and it is very practical. So the first one is to make the space breathe better. I think this is something also and advised by WHO that under the current situation, one of the important factor is a clean air, or you have a natural ventilation, natural airflow in the place where you live. And second items is sequent flow through spaces. So this is similar to the first one. And the third one is expand the threshold of the unit. So it sounds very general. What do you mean by? You may ask, what do you mean by expand the threshold of the unit? I think I will elaborate this a little bit further in my later slide. It is a very interesting solution. Number 4, group residents into villages. So this is one of the solutions that we think we can actually improve the way that we are social distancing ourselves. We still need social distancing for a while, but how can we have our at least a minimum amount of social interaction within the social distancing period? So and in the future, is this the normal in the future? So I think this is a very interesting solution as well. The last one is encourage people to get outdoor. Definitely, this is a very important factor to our design, and this is a very important factor to the future of architecture. So let's get to the first one. I'll quote, since we are in Mandani Bay today, so I'll just quote Mandani Bay as one of our example. And it is a very good example, I think. So how to make our space breathe better? So I think it has to start with the whole master plan. In our view, if we behave well, even in the master plan stage, the way we position in a very massive township project like Mandani Bay with many towers inside the site, we have to position our building in a very thorough way. How do we position our building so that we have natural wind flows around the whole site, around the whole development? So as you can see in Mandani Bay, we have many axes of wind flow flowing around the whole development. It is like vertical, it is like in a horizontal way. They are all between the towers. And then in the end, what we are getting is when this wind flow cross, they will flow back to each unit of each tower. And that's where we get the natural air from inside of the unit. So inside of the unit, you won't feel very hot. You won't feel lack of air. It will be quite a lot of air exchange inside your unit. So this is the fundamental way to create a very healthy community and a very healthy living environment. So this is extremely important. And this is we call this as a passive design. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to add anything. We don't need to add any mechanical things, AC or electrical fan. We don't need those. Naturally, we get those. It's by behaving well when we have a well thought master plan, and then when we position our building correctly, that's what we get. So this is actually very easy, we think. But if you don't spend effort on it, you won't get it. So the next one is, of course, inside our unit, we can make use of some new kind of technology like air purifier, ionizer. I think this is not new to everyone, but this is still one of the aspects that can help our condominium or our living space healthy. So this is the first thing that we are looking very seriously. And then, okay, the second one is sequence flow through spaces. What is a sequence flow through spaces is it is very interestingly social distance. We keep talking about social distancing, but actually social distancing is a very direct solution. But it is actually generated by human being interaction. So how do we control the interaction of human being? And then by controlling this, then maybe we can relax our social distancing a little bit. How do we do it? Okay, so this is a two bar here that the one on top is the one before COVID-19. What is the world doing before COVID-19? And the one on the bottom is what we think people should be doing after COVID-19. So I have subdivided a development into 4 spaces. So the first one on the left hand is the public one, is the public face. It's outside the building. So the second one is we call it semi-public. This is where our entrance lobby is. For example, the good example is entrance lobby. When the first space you step in to the building from outside is the entrance lobby. So that's the public, semi-public. This is where anyone can come in. Your visitor, your homeowner, your delivery guy, your postman, everyone. A lot of people is gathering in this space. The third space is semi-private. This is where in a residential development, this is where our club facilities, our typical floor corridor leading to your apartment, and then of course the last space is the private. This is basically your own apartment. So if we are very clear on these 4 spaces, look at the top bar where I have drawn a red line. The red line means this is where people, where the public people stop at this point before the COVID-19. That means if you have a visitor, when they came in from outside, they can go to the lobby very freely. They can go to your amenity and your floor and your corridor very freely, and then of course they have to stop at your door side, and then they have to press your doorbell before they can go into your apartment. But before the red line, it is a space that, especially with this black hatch area, this is the gray area, that space that it is mixed up between public and the private. And then this is where the people will mix up, and this is where the spread of virus will happen, and this is what was happening. So what we have done is in our research and study, we think that we should actually push the red line to the left hand side. That means all the public, all the visitor, all the outsider of the apartment, they have to stop at this line. That means we don't encourage people to actually go in to your apartment tower without any control. Of course, we cannot stop people coming into the apartment. You have your friends coming, you have your visitors, you have your delivery guys, you have your postman, and then you have different kinds of people going into your building. But we allow them, but we have to control them. So this is how people will flow. And normally for residents, they can go from a public area. They go straight all to their unit. Of course, this is their home. They can of course freely move around the whole building. For a visitor, perhaps they can only stop at the lobby or even before the lobby. Then we have the first control point. Then for the building staff, yes, they can go to the lobby. They have to go to the corridor, amenity, all the public area because they are serving the building. For the delivery guy, we stop them at the lobby and avoid them to go to the tower all the way up to the tower. And because that's where we want to control the flow of the pedestrian. This is the only way we can avoid spreading of virus. So you can still have your visitor come to meet you to have your social gathering, but you have to avoid meeting stranger as much as possible. So that's the whole point of this sequence flows through spaces. So it has to be controlled. So and especially under a township development like Mandalay Bay or other similar size of development, it has to be controlled. So a proper control and proper building management can definitely help this. So how to do this moving forward? So this is what we call expand threshold of the unit. Imagine nowadays people do a lot of online shopping. You order a lot of food from food delivery, whatever food delivery they are. So how do we avoid contacting these people? So this is also another advice from WHO is the minimum to minimize contact with each other is the best way to prevent spreading of virus. So we have a lot of technology that can help us, a lot of design thought that can help us. So one of the things that we are actually very seriously doing now is by using of a smart locker. So what is smart lockers? So smart locker is actually very popular in China, Hong Kong, city like all the city in China, in Hong Kong, Singapore. It's getting very popular. This is where you have it's like a locker. It's digital. When you buy a parcel online, when you shopping online, and then the delivery guy will deliver the goods, your parcels to your apartment. They press your bell, and then you get the parcel. But it is not happening anymore. I think this is the way before COVID-19. After COVID-19, I think to avoid the contact, so this is very useful. So what we are doing is we have a locker room in the public area. Public area means in your lobby. So this smart locker room is where the delivery guy will put your parcels in, and then they will lock it, and then they will send you a QR code. And then once you get the QR code, you get your home smartphone, you go to the locker, you open the locker and get your parcel. So that's the way to avoid contact. So, and this is very useful and this is very practical. It's not very difficult to do it. It's fairly easy. And then of course, there are so many features in these smart lockers. They have UV lighting because when your parcel, you're from I don't know where your parcel came from. They are from other country, and then a lot of people have been touching it already throughout the logistic process. So they have UV lighting to kill the virus before you even get your parcel. So this is a very practical feature that we are seriously using it in our projects. And then food delivery. So I think this is very common to everyone already. So during the lockdown, especially how to get your food if you are not cooking at home, right? Or if you are if you own a fairly a smaller apartment, you don't normally cook, then what do you do? Even not during the COVID lockdown period, I don't normally cook, so I order food all the time. So what do we do? So so this is part of the new feature. Is part of the function of a smart locker. We call it food locker. So what is food locker? So right hand side is on the left hand side. This is where what we are doing now. So we order food. The Grab food guy with his motorbike will come to the entrance of your property, and then you have to come down. You pay him, and then you get the food. And this is exactly what we should be avoiding. This kind of content is one of the main cause of the spreading. So how to avoid this? Food locker. So the same concept as the smart locker. When you order food, you have a food locker in your lobby. So your delivery guy, you put the food in your in the food locker, and this is a warm or chill. There are warm or chill options, so to keep your food warm. So even in the country like China, they online shopping they are not going to supermarket anymore. They online shops their grocery and food. So even fresh meat, frozen meat, vegetable, all the groceries that you need from supermarket, they can deliver it and then put in your food locker. And then once the goods is in place, they will send you a QR code. You accept the QR code, go down to your lobby, pick up your food. I think that is a very convenient way of living as well. And this is the future of living. I think everything is going smart nowadays. So let's face it, this is coming to us. So no wonder, no matter where we are, whether we are in Cebu or whether we are in Hong Kong, Singapore, I think this is coming to us. Okay. Smart mailbox. I think everything start with a smart already. So smart mailbox is another thing, similar concept. You don't need to go to your mail room every day and check your mailbox. When you have a mail inside your a mailbox, they will send you a notice, and then you know you have a mail. Then you go to your mailbox and pick up your mail. To be honest, nowadays physical mail is getting lesser and lesser, but you still have it, you still get it, but you don't need to touch the mailbox every day. So avoid touching. I think to minimize the touching. I think that's the whole concept. So in Singapore, this is one of their solutions. This is actually one of the solutions of the elderly home, where they put a mailbox outside next to their entrance door. So the building management, whatever parcels or mail or food that elderly, they don't even need to go down to the lobby. They just open the door, pick up the stuff. So this is even more convenient. But this concept needs a more tedious. I have to admit that this is need a more tedious building management to support it. So, but this is a good idea too. So we are using it, we are implementing it in Singapore. So, okay, so I think after that control of flow, I think the next idea is fairly simple. I think group residence into villages. So again, I'll make Mandani Bay as our example, because Mandani Bay is a township. I think only a township project can group people into villages, right? So this is how we group. Actually, if you look at the Mandani Bay master plan, we have already grouped our people into villages. This is how we group our people into villages. So each phase is a village. So we encourage people, if you are staying in Mandani Bay Suite, or if you're staying in Mandani Bay Key, and this is your active area. Of course, we encourage people to go to the boardwalk, to the waterfront, to the green strip, any public open space that we are providing within the Mandani Bay area. But within your own phase, you have a big, huge open space that you can do your activities there. So you don't need to go to other places to do your outdoor activities. You have your own open space. So this is the way that we can control people moving around too much. Of course, we still have to allow our tenant to move around, but we are discouraging them a little bit to move around between phases. So this is the way that we control the flow of the people, and this is the post-pandemic situation that we have to face. It doesn't sound very perfect, but if this is a healthy solution for each of us, why not? I think this is a good solution for the future. And of course, last, encourage people to get outdoor. This is very straightforward. So again, like what I was saying a while ago, if you are a well-behaved developer, you're a well-behaved architect, you would allow enough proportion of outdoor space to let your tenant to move around. This is the way of designing a healthy environment. Don't control them. Don't control them in the indoor area. Encourage them to go outdoor. I think this is our future. The interaction between outdoor indoor should be well considered. And then we go green. Let's go green. Let's go fresh, get fresh air. I think this is the healthy environment that we are looking for our future living. So I think that's the all these above we are the so-called design principle that we are respecting. And then these are the studies that we have gone through for the past 6 months, and as to how to make our community more healthy. So now we go to the more interesting part, the innovation. Innovation normally is related to technology, which is yes. But as I said, I think all of us have been seeing a lot of so-called new innovation ideas from Facebook, Instagram, from YouTube, and we don't know where they came from. We don't know what are actually true and what are actually fake. So we have gone through a very long studies of this. Even before COVID, we are looking very seriously on innovation ideas, innovation technologies, and we are happy to share with everyone. I think in Hongkong Land, we are being very innovative, but we are also very practical. So we don't do things that are too ambitious, but we are also not behind. We are always on the front end of the market. So we are very innovative. So we are not afraid to explore new ideas and new technology, but it has to be working. It has to work. So you cannot keep exploring things that it doesn't work. So it's waste of time, waste of money. So today I'm very happy to share all this innovation idea technology. These are the ideas and technology that some of them we are already implementing it. We are using them in our other project or in our future project. And some of them we are seriously considering it. And then we think they are perfect solution that we will be implementing it in our future new project. So how do this innovation evolve our future living? So is this, like I said, is this as simple as this? In a French homestay, and you just present a spaceship and then you said this is our new technology, and then it's impossible. So it's not. I think we have to face the fact that technology is moving very fast every day, but we have to catch up very carefully. We have to make sure that are they suitable to us? Are they working for us? So So this is something that we have been dealing with it very carefully. We know we cannot get rid of technology nowadays, but we have to use them very carefully. So, okay, we have, this is, I think every one of us is suffering from work from home for the past 6 to 8 months. It's very painful. Even us in Hong Kong, we are suffering for this for few months. It's very painful. If you ask me personally, I can't work at home too long. It's just very so many things will distract you. It's really your TV, your kids, your wife, and many other aspects that will distract your work. So work from home is, people say it works. I would say yes, 50-50. It doesn't really work very perfectly, but we cannot avoid work from home. I think work from home will be carry on for a while for all of us. So, and how to deal with this? And we are looking at this very seriously. I think the answer is very simple, actually, is to create a very flexible space for you to live. So if you can convert your living space to become a working space very easily and very flexibly, I think that's the solution. So I think this is a very interesting short video that I would like to share with everyone. So this is a studio unit. So how many rooms does you need in your studio unit? So this is very interesting. We have so many studio units in Manila Bay. You see how the way it convert from a living area and to a sleeping area and to a working area by just a very simple furniture system. It is only the cabinet that keep sliding, moving forward and backward, and then you have your storage space, and then you'll have your working station, and then you can split up your working space with your living space without distracting your work at day and without distracting your resting period at night. And this is within a very small apartment. So I think this is a very interesting short film that I said I better show this to everyone. And this is not impossible. This is very possible, and this is very easy to do. You can see the furniture. They are very basic and they look nice, and then you still feel you have a very spacious living environment. Although you are, for example, even though you are staying in the studio unit, then you still feel the space. I think that's what I mean. A flexible space is the future of our living. A flexible space also is the future of our working space. So I think flexibility is one very important factor. Robot. It sounds very fantasy land, but robot is coming. I can tell everyone this robot is coming. It's in the market. It's using. We are seriously considering it. This is a robot from Schindler Lift, and this is it comes with the system. So this is where we can even upgrade our logistic system. When you have a parcel, what if you have a parcel, and what if your property doesn't have smart lockers? How do you get your parcel, safely from the delivery guy? So this is the solution. Solution is very simple. It's we park a series of robots in the lobby. When the parcels come, when the mails come, you put in your parcels inside the robot. You key in your the building management key in your unit number, and then the robot will automatically go inside to the lift and go to that respective floor and go to your unit, and then press your doorbell, and then you get your parcel. It is not a very complicated technology. It sounds very complicated. It sounds very high tech, but it is coming. It is in the market. The picture on the right hand side is one of the hotel in Singapore that they are using it already for their room services. So So this is not a fantasy land. It's coming. We are considering it seriously for the post-COVID, one of the post-COVID solution. Touchless journey. I think everybody's talking about touchless journey. So, but how to do it? How do I go home in a touchless journey? So it's again with the help of the smart system nowadays, and I know in Mandalay Bay with the help of the community apps, this is actually easy. So all you need is hold your own handphone all the way from outside to your doorsteps. So you come into the home, you scan to get into your lobby, and then you scan to collect your mail, and then you scan to go to your respective floor, and then you scan to your smart lock to get in your unit. So everything can go through your smartphone. So you don't need to touch anything, and then you're home safe. So this is a touchless journey that we are talking about. Of course, if you're driving, same logic. You have you get into your car, you drive into the car park, and then you get into your car park lobby with the same logistics system. So you don't need to touch anything. Home automation. This is we have been implementing home automation for our project for many years. It is a technology that, again, this is a technology that you cannot avoid. It's in the market, and people are using it, people enjoying it, and how to control the whole home system within your handphone, even you are not at home. Like for example, you can activate your aircon 1 hour before you arrive home, so that make sure when you arrive home, your unit, your apartment is cold enough in a hot city like Cebu, and you can control your vacuum cleaner while you're in the office. You can control your camera and make sure your apartment is safe, and you have a lot of other devices. And you can control your blinds. You can set your lighting in different modes. You have smoke detectors to make sure that your apartment is safe. So a lot of these function that can be included in home automation system, and it is also one of the security system that we are exploring all the time. So this is a system that is moving very fast. The technology is improving every day. So we are catching up very we are catching up very up to date. So this is a device that is in the market. People are using it. So and this is the future of living. So if we talk about trend of architecture, I think this is one of the new trend. This is getting very popular. So okay, the last one is a very interesting technology, and the slide on the left-hand side is one of our Bangkok project, Sukhumvit 36. The project called S36. It's a single tower super luxury project and in Thong Lo area. But that's okay. That's an apartment. So what's special about this is the automated parking system. In Thailand, automated parking system is getting very popular. It's getting very common, and then the system that we are using is a very good, simple system. What's the advantage? What is the advantage of an automated parking system? Why a developer we have to spend almost 5 times the cost to build an automated parking system compared with the conventional parking system? I think this is something to do. The advantage is related to a healthier community as well. I think we're talking about touchless journey. We're talking about social distancing. So we're talking about all these things. So this is all related. And fortunately, we decided to do this. This is the project 3 years ago. So we decided to implement this technology in our S36 project, and it is interestingly, it become a very helpful tools now in a COVID situation. People will just park your car and then in the lift, and then you can come out, and then the system will automatically bring your car to the parking lot. And then when you want to get your car, you press the lift, and then the system will bring your car back to the ground floor, and then you just wait for your car to arrive. So this is a very intelligent system. It's also very simple. It's not cheap. It's a very expensive system, but it's very compact. The compact means that it allows us to create more open space for the community. I think the Philippines, we all suffering the same problem. High volume of cars is in the city moving around. That leads to a very high demand of parking spaces in each development. Whether you're in shopping mall, whether in a residential development, you need a huge amount of parking spaces. And these parking spaces eats up your open spaces. So this is one of the solutions that we can compact our building, make our building very compact, and still have the same amount of parking space. And then I think I have a short video to share with everyone here and show you how this system actually works. And this is a very interesting system. So this is a car lift in the ground floor. So imagine this is your car, you're driving this car, you're going back home. So this is all you need to do. Drive your car, go into the car lift. So we have a series of car lifts on the ground floor. And then the car owner, you see, the driver and his wife, they grab the things, they come out, and they go to the lift lobby. Then they go home. But before they go home, they tap their number, and then the system will bring the car to their designated parking lot, and then your car parked there. And this is the inside the parking system. So the car will automatically, the system will bring the car outside to the lift, and they have a conveyor, and this conveyor will bring this car to its designated parking space. And this is very simple. This is how it works. And then you see this is and then they slide the car in the parking lot, and that's how they park the car. And because it is automatic, so the system can park can compact the parking as much as possible. We don't need to worry about driveways. We don't need to worry about ramps going to different levels. The system is taking care of everything. So that's the reason why we can make the car park very compact. So, okay, I think that's all about our topic for today. And I hope everybody enjoyed the presentation, and I hope all this technology and design policy that interests you. And I still have few minutes. I think I would like to take this opportunity to share with everyone on what Hongkongland is up to recently in the region. I think we have received a lot of questions about okay, and the pandemic period, or even under a very difficult year like 2020 this year, what Hongkongland is up to. Are you still committed in the region? Are you still committed in Cebu? Are you still committed in anywhere? What are you up to? What are you doing? What are you guys doing? I think we receive a lot of this kind of questions. So I would like to take this opportunity to share with everyone what are we doing? What is Hongkong Land doing in the region? I'm in charge of South Asia. So I'll be more than happy to share with everyone what's Hong Kong is doing in South Asia recently, now, and in the future. I think I'm happy to share with everyone our project in the region, just to give everyone a better feel what are we doing, and what is our completed project, and then how does it look like, and then I think this is a very interesting slideshow that perhaps some of you may be interesting to know. Okay, so we have completed our super luxury project in Jakarta, in city center CBD Jakarta, in Sudirman. This is like Sudirman is like central in Hong Kong. It's really city center CBD, and then we have started this development it's about 5 years ago, and it's completed last year and is handed over to our buyers beginning last year. It's a 3-tower residential development, super luxury development, and we are very proud of this project. It's called Anandamaya Residences. In Tower 1, every unit has their own swimming pool. So that's how luxury this development is. So imagine you have your own swimming pool in a high-rise condominium, every floor. So if you look at the left images and the leftmost tower, the stick-out balcony look-alike thing, these are the swimming pool for the unit. So we've gone quite well on this project. The result is very, very nice. We are extremely happy about this. It's a SCDA design from Singapore and a Bill Bensley landscape. So it's totally a 5-star development. Next one, still in Indonesia. This is if you think 20 hectares, Mandani Bay is a township. I think this is about 4 times Mandani Bay. This is a 78 hectares development in East Indonesia, East Jakarta. It's called Asia. It's a township. It's a super township composed of townhouses, waterfront, detached housing, and then high-rise apartment and commercial. So it's a mixed use type township, and this is the whole master plan, and then and this is the waterfront apartment, and then slowly this is the waterfront detached house, the highest end detached house along the lake, and this is the most expensive product that we have completed last year, and then we are starting to build the rest of the lakefront house next year, and the rest of the parcel. So we have completed 3 phases of this project. Next phase is coming this year, and then we are also launching a commercial parcel for Asia this year. So things has been moving very intensively. We have never slowed down. So going to Malaysia, the Queen. After so many years, I think Hongkong Land finally entered to Malaysia. This is in KL, Malaysia, our first project in the city, in the country, first residential project in the country. We are launching this project in next month, September. So we are all very excited about this. It's our first project in this city. Singapore, Market View, I think a very high-end single tower development. It's completing although Singapore has suffered for a little bit of problems during the COVID, the outbreak on the dormitory, but all of our sites are clear of COVID, and then the authority allow us to restart the work. So schedule is we are catching up on the schedule. Fortunately, we are not very affected. So it's top out already before the COVID. So now we are doing the fitting out work of this project and expecting to hand over as scheduled next year. It's a very boutique, very nice project. Park Esther, a small township project in Singapore, 9 towers, very nice design project. It's all ongoing. We are 90% sold out, and then handover. I think schedule as I think construction as scheduled. Okay, our latest project in Singapore, a super high-end product called Leiden Green. It's a 7-tower low-density project. We have launched this in the early day of this year. Sales going on. Construction is ongoing. So this is our brand new product in Singapore. It's a very it's situated in the hilly side, and it's a very interesting landscape design by EcoPlan Singapore and architecture by Palmer Turner Singapore. So it's going to be a very nice product. S36, Bangkok. I think we have talked about the automated parking system a while ago. So this is the project designed by SOM New York, and it's a super luxury project in Bangkok. This is also our first residential project in Bangkok. We started this 3 years ago, top out last December. I think now we are doing the fitting out work. I think all the work has been progressing very smoothly. We are expecting another 5-star project in the Bangkok very soon. This is coming very soon. We are all very excited about it. So, a Lake Legend. This is a township single housing, low-rise single detached housing luxury in Bangkok. It's a lakefront development. So we seldom do this. We are doing this in a French colonial language architecture style, super luxury 500 square meter mansion. We are building about the phase 1. We are building about over 200 numbers of mansion. Also lakefront. All the lakefront houses, they have, of course, they have their usual swimming pool. Big houses, and we launched this early this year in Bangkok. It's I think and not surprisingly, we attract a lot of rich and famous people in the city to buy the development. A lot of celebrities getting their house here. It's a very interesting development. Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, our again another luxury project, residential project in District 1, Ho Chi Minh. So District 1 is like central CBD of Ho Chi Minh. Is like central in Hong Kong. If you are familiar with Vietnam or Ho Chi Minh, you may be aware that it's almost impossible to get a land there. District 1 is all fully packed, and we are very fortunate to have this opportunity to develop this project with our partners in Ho Chi Minh. It's a high-end, obviously. It's a CBD residential project. It's a very high-end prestige residential project. Also top out this year during the COVID period, and now we are doing the fitting out work and handover next year as scheduled. And not last, Philippines. So except other than Cebu, what are we doing? So we are partnering with Robinson Land. We have launched our luxury product again in Ortigas called Velaris. We launched this right before the COVID. A very nice, one of my personal favorite, a very nice luxury product in Ortigas. So many surprises in this project. I won't elaborate too much, but this is our latest. It's also piling started, and we have launched a project early this year. So we are moving very fast on this. And then yeah, that's the entrance. And the last but not the least, and this is a little bit of surprises today. This is coming soon. I cannot talk too much about this. Still very confidential, but I'm very happy to share with everyone. Mandani Bay Phase 3 is coming. We are working very hard with the HTLAND team designing this product. A lot of surprises. We are expecting a lot of surprises in this Phase 3. A brand new concept, a brand new collaboration of international and local consultants. It's going to be very interesting. So I think that's all from me today. I hope everybody enjoyed the presentation and enjoy what we are up to recently. So Brinky, I'll put the presentation back to you.
Thank you.
This is Mandani Bay Key, the first mixed-use enclave in Mandani Bay, Asia's next waterfront destination. Located along F. East Willig Avenue in Mandaue City, Mandani Bay Key gives its homeowners maximum access to and from the city. The enclave has 3 residential buildings, 1 office tower, and at the center, the active zone, its exclusive amenity deck filled with outdoor spaces and features that help tenants keep an active, healthy lifestyle. Mandani Bay Key completes its 4-tower cluster with a new residential building, Mandani Bay Key Tower 3. This tower, which offers a beautiful view of the sunset, has 36 floors. The ground level holds the residential lobby and is host to retail. Ground level parking is for retail customers and visitors, and the basement and second levels are for residents. 27 levels are dedicated to the residential units. These residences are classified into standard, garden, and penthouse. The penthouse units are the biggest units and offer the most expansive views. The garden units each have an outdoor space that can be used to create a garden or alfresco dining area. The standard units, studio, studio plus, and 1-bedroom residences are fully furnished. This is a first in Mandani Bay. The living, dining, bedroom, kitchen, and toilet and bath areas of these units are designed by P. Tang Studio Limited, award-winning Hong Kong-based interior planner known for developing luxury living and commercial spaces in Asia. The fully furnished units will have a smart TV with rack, dining set, and bed with mattress and bedside tables, among others. With a designer, life-ready home at Mandani Bay Key Tower 3, a resident simply has to move in when their unit is ready. For those who want more freedom to customize their space, 2-bedroom and bigger units are handed over semi-furnished. The fully furnished homes at Mandani Bay Key Tower 3 are not the only first in the new property. Developer HTLAND enriches life in the community through a dedicated app that activates advanced accessibility features. With just 1 tap, a resident can book amenities, settle property fees, manage visitor access, and control their main door's Bluetooth lock set. These advancements at home deepen the way a resident experiences the benefits of living in Mandani Bay's expansive master-planned community. Never has condo living in Cebu been this exclusive, secure, and elegant. Embrace seamless, elevated urban living in a world-class lifestyle destination through Mandani Bay Key Tower 3.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is certainly a dream that has turned into reality by Mandani Bay. And of course, with your personal touch, you can actually customize and personalize your own space. At the same time, one of the really key edge of Mandani Bay is the use of advancement of technology. And so from one talk to another, we now proceed and welcome our next speaker for our RISE webinar this morning. He has earned his bachelor's and master's degree in business management in University of the Philippines, Cebu. Worked for 13 years with 3M Philippines, handling a national post, a licensed broker himself, and an avid financial and real estate investor. Currently, he is the Assistant Vice President of HTLAND Incorporated, developer of Mandani Bay. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our second speaker, Mr. Audrey Villa. Take it away, sir.
Thank you, Blinky. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's watching all around the world. Those who are in Cebu right now, maayong buntag. So I'm here again because we're going to talk about business today. Specifically, we're going to talk about Mandani Bay and how it's we're going to transform it into a world-class lifestyle destination. At this time, we're going to place another angle to it because, as you well know, we've experienced a pandemic and the lockdown for several months now. And what Stanley has mentioned earlier too, certain aspects of architecture and construction are evolving as well, because the communities are evolving too. So we're going to talk about that. But before that, let me just comment on Stanley's view. I love his view. I suppose that's the Hong Kong central view. I see the observation wheel right there. I was in Hong Kong very early this year. In fact, I spent New Year in Hong Kong, so I love the place. So I hope I get to go back again, hopefully when everything is already back to normal. So there you go. While you see Stanley's screen, it's an actual view of development in Hong Kong, which is in Central. What you see as my background that's Mandani Bay. But hopefully in the next few years, I will change my backdrop into something which is real and actual. No? But for now, you could visit Mandani Bay and you see towers are beginning to rise. And hopefully in the next few years, we see a complete development out there. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to discuss about Mandani Bay and how we are tailor-fitting the development so that it could also be attuned to the developing communities after, experiencing this pandemic and also the lockdowns. But before I go to that, everyone here knows that Mandani Bay, the vision really starts with the words world-class, right? We really want a project in Cebu to be a forefront in making and leading Cebu to be a world-class lifestyle destination. But having a project in itself alone, which has world-class amenities and all that, will not truly make Cebu attractive for lifestyle destination as is, right? So I'm going to share with you some projects, some infrastructure projects in Cebu, which are, of course, the vision of which is also to make Cebu competitive lifestyle-wise. So I'm going to show you that before I show you what Mandani Bay is all about. So let us start off. Well, this slide is telling us that, whether you like or hate this administration, it's up to you. We're not going to deal about that. But the fact is, this administration has poured a lot of budget towards infrastructure development. The past 50 years, only 2.6% of the budget was allocated towards infrastructure. With the government's Build program, it has more than doubled its budget. It's 5.3% of the GDP. So as you can see, that map of the Philippines right there, those thumbnails that you see, those are the major projects in the Philippines. Of course, we are curious to see what are the major infrastructure projects in Cebu, and I'm going to show you that now. First, of course, is the Mactan Cebu International Airport, right? We've seen this. I think this was launched June of 2018, so it's 2 years now. But we were so excited about this. This is part of the government's project, precisely because the old airport needed to expand. The old airport, it could only accommodate 4 million passengers. But since there was a steady increase of tourists, especially tourists in Cebu, at 15% per year. So in 2022, the airport guys were already anticipating around 12 million passengers for that airport. So the old airport could not do it anymore. We had to expand, thus this. And this is already there. But to tell you, this is not the end for the airport. There are still a few more developments that we could anticipate in the next few years. But as you can see, that old airport right there, been through a lot of airports. I could see this is one of the quaintest. I mean, it's not that big. It's not as big as Changi or Incheon, but it's very nice, nicely done, nicely designed. See the Scandinavian woods right there. Very nice. So if you haven't been there, visit the new terminal of the Mactan Cebu International Airport. As said, we could expect additional developments in the airport. A second runway will be up and coming. At the same time, a third terminal too. So the whole airport project, this will be slated to be completed by 2030. So in the next few years, we could expect more expansions right there, because that airport, it's poised to be the first resort airport in the world. So expect a lot more amenities to sprout. The second biggest project, if you don't know this still, we call this the Metro Cebu Expressway. The budget of that, if you could see, is 54 billion pesos. Yes. And that's already started since 2018, slated to be completed in 2022. What is that? I'm sure you've heard that Cebu is has one of the worst traffic in the Philippines, if not the world. I disagree. It's the worst traffic in the Philippines, in the world, but where traffic here is worsening because a lot of development is happening. That's natural. But what is the government doing to ease the traffic? It's building this expressway. It's a 74-kilometer expressway, which will connect Danao from the north to Naga to the south. So instead of traveling around 3 to 4 hours from Danao to Naga, passing by Cebu City and Mandaue City, it will now be cut to less than an hour and a half. Isn't that nice? So that will ease a lot of traffic, because instead of vehicles from the north or the south passing by Cebu and Mandaue, they will have to bypass that passing through this expressway. All right. So just a few pictures for you to see. It's almost parallel to the Cebu's nautical highway, but it will pass through the mountains of Cebu, again connecting Danao to Naga. Danao in the north, then Naga to the south. That's the red line that you see right there on the slide. All right. So a few more photos of the expressway. Again, this has been started already, and these are a few photos that we see. This is, I think, in the Naga area, And hopefully in 2022, 2 years' time, this will already be open and completed for us to use. Again, this will ease a lot of traffic within Metro Cebu. Another big project is Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway. Of course, everybody knows this in Cebu, and everybody could already see this. This will connect Cordova in Mactan Island to the South Road properties in Cebu City. So again, this will ease a lot of traffic, because people from the south, instead of passing by Cebu and Mandaue to go to the airport, they no longer have to pass by, because they could just take this bridge going directly to the Mactan Island where the airport is. Okay, so a few photos. We're excited. I passed by here last week and I could see already the viaducts, the upper pylons are there, the piers are completed, the piles are completed, and they're finishing the bridge decks. And hopefully, again, this is slated to be completed next year, by end of next year. And they are already 58% completed as per end of June 2020. So very exciting. Probably the most controversial, the transportation system project of Cebu, which used to be called the Bus Rapid Transit. They have now renamed it to the Integrated Intermodal Transport System, or the Integrated Transport System. This will be composed of buses, which will have their own lanes, and this will be complemented by either an MRT, LRT, or monorail. Okay, the bus part is already budgeted, and they're already buying the right-of-way. So expect that in the next few months, some buses will already traverse through our roads. Although the LRT, monorail, or MRT is still in the feasibility stage. So again, with the buses and hopefully the monorail or the LRT, this will ease a lot of traffic within the Metro Cebu area. Okay, so this is the BRT routes that you can see. If you can see, it will start in Talisay, around Bulacau, Pardo area in the south, and goes north to Talamban. Notice as well that there will be feeder services, the orange lines, which could even go as far as Mandaue areas, where, of course, Mandani Bay is. So hopefully, we're very hopeful about this, and this is already ongoing. Even before the third bridge is done, there are already serious talks about the fourth bridge. And I read it in the headlines in the newspapers a few weeks back that it has already been granted a fund from JICA, the Japanese International Cooperation Agency. So I'm very excited about this. Why? Because our project in Mandani Bay is going to be very positively affected about this, because this project will start right very, very near Mandani Bay. So what is this all about? This is a fourth bridge which will be connected to a coastal road. So it's a two-prong project. The coastal road right there is the blue one. And of course, you see the fourth bridge is connected at the interchange. Now, the coastal road, which is the Mandaue Coastal Road, will start right after Bai Hotel, which is just right across Mandani Bay, right? So if you live in Mandani Bay now and you go to the airport, probably it would take you around 30 minutes drive. Because of course, there's still traffic and all that. You pass by Mandaue, you pass by Lapu-Lapu too. But with this Mandaue Coastal Road connected to the fourth bridge, probably in less than 10 minutes, you're already in the airport coming from Mandani Bay. Okay? And this, according to the articles, is slated to be completed between 2027 and 2028. So that is at 7-8 years from now. So those are some photos of the coastal road. The coastal road will sit on top of the Mactan Channel. So it's easier to implement because the team will no longer be buying a lot of privately owned lands because it sits on a publicly owned Mactan Channel. Okay, it will go under the old bridge, which is the Osmeña Bridge, and will go over like a roller coaster. It will go over the new bridge. All right, and at the interchange that you see there, it will connect directly to the fourth bridge, which will land, by the way, the fourth bridge will land directly to the airport road. That's why driving from Mandani Bay to the airport is going to be a breeze, because again, the coastal road will start 2 blocks away from Mandani Bay. It will connect to the fourth bridge, which will land directly to the airport bridge. See how convenient that is. You avoid traffic in Mandaue. If there will be, hopefully with the expressway and the third bridge, it will be eased off. But you will also avoid traffic in Lapu-Lapu City because, again, the fourth bridge will land directly to the airport road. All right? This is very exciting. And according to the updates, which is given by the DPWH Secretary Mark Villar, he said that the conduct of detailed design study for the Cebu-Mactan Bridge, the fourth bridge, and the coastal road construction project is funded already under the JICA grant. Again, there's money there. And this will start, the detailed design study will start by next month already. So what does this say? If you don't have Mandani Bay still, seriously consider that, because once that bridge is there, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna bet my whatever I can to it, but the prices, the value will increase. All right, so there you go, exciting projects in Cebu. I'm gonna talk now about Mandani Bay. Again, with those projects, ease of traffic already. We become a little more competitive against the other Southeast Asian nations. We become more of a destination for a lot of people around the world here in Southeast Asia. So again, as mentioned earlier, Mandani Bay didn't start out with a business in mind. It started out with a vision in mind. And that vision really is to be able to transform Cebu into something, into a destination which is world-class. All right. We started with that vision because a lot of the proponents in Mandani Bay have traveled the world, and we realized that whenever we travel, we always think in mind that I wish we had this in Cebu. I wish we had that in Cebu. We wanted to make that dream a reality. we wanted to create Mandani Bay. So Mandani Bay, it's one of Hongkongland's biggest projects. Why? Because this is a 20 hectare. This sits on a 20 hectare. It's big. It's almost as big as IT Park that we have here in Cebu. A 20 hectare waterfront mixed use community. So take note, this is very unique because it's fronting the water. And this is not only residential, it's mixed use. So you can see a lot of other development types here. That will set a new benchmark for modern seafront destination and residential communities in Cebu. So this will be both residential, destination, and more. All right. So if you can see here, as said, this is not just, do not expect just residential condos here. There will be offices too. There will be malls. There will be recreational park like the Green Promenade, which is almost half a kilometer of a park. We will also have a boardwalk right here, which is very nice. And notice that there will also be hotel component here too. So it's really mixed use. So we can safely say that we could live, work, and play here. You don't need to go anywhere else. You could do a lot of things just by in Mandani Bay. All right, that's another photo of Mandani Bay, bird's eye view of Mandani Bay. So it looks like a city in itself. It even creates its own skyline already. Now, Mandani Bay was started, we started marketing and selling Mandani Bay in 2016, and we've already fully sold out phase 1, which is Mandani Bay Suites. 0, there are no units left now, so all sold out. Those are 2 towers. Now we come to the second phase, which we call the Mandani Bay Key. And that Mandani Bay Key right there has 4 towers. The first one, which we've launched in 2017, is already 100% sold out. The second tower, which we've launched in 2018, is already nearing sold out as well. The third tower has already breached more than 50% sold out of the open units. And of course, the first office tower of Mandani Bay, which is called One Mandani Bay, is already 75% sold out. So this is what the team is marketing now and pushing and to their prospects. There are still a few units left in Tower 2, which, by the way, are semi-furnished, and some units left in Tower 3, which are fully furnished and interior design. All right? And of course, a few units left in the office tower of Mandani Bay called the One Mandani Bay. So what makes Mandani Bay different from the other projects that we have here in Cebu and in the Philippines? Number one, of course, this is a joint venture of 2 developers, not one like most other developments. These are 2 developers putting their minds together to make something really amazing, really something that we could be proud of. So the local partner is, of course, Staff Properties, which is the real estate arm of the Vixal group of companies. Of course, that's listed in the stock exchange. And of course, the international partner is Hongkong Land. This is where our previous speaker is under, and he is based in Hong Kong. They have a lot of projects, not just in Hong Kong and Singapore. If you're familiar, if you've been to Marina Bay, the Marina Bay Financial Center in Singapore was developed by Hongkong Land. So they have projects in Hong Kong, in Jakarta, in Bangkok, in Phnom Penh, Ho Chi Minh. They're all around China as well, Southeast Asia and South Asia. So very reputable. They have been in the industry for more than 130 years. And this is part of the greater business group Jardine Matheson, which owns, by the way, the Mandarin Oriental group of hotels. So very reputable, very nice part. I've been to 4 projects of theirs all around Southeast Asia, and I could say that they're really one of the most impeccably made towers in the region. Talking about location, if you can see, Mandani Bay, of course, sits in Mandaue City. It's along the North Reclamation area of Mandaue. Take note as well that there is a plan by the Mandaue local government to change that area right there, to change its name from NRA North Reclamation area to Mandaue Central Business District. Because if you know that right now, Mandaue doesn't have any business district, right? So the local government will poise this area as its central business district. All right. So we say this is a premium location. Why? Because it's a stone throw away to a lot of institutions like hospitals, which are internationally accredited. UCMed and Chonghua are just a couple of blocks away. There are schools right there. Right in front is Cebu Doctors University, one of the biggest in Cebu. And beside it is Singapore International School. And of course, there's a mall a couple of blocks away. And there's also a hotel right there, Bai Hotel. And soon that CICC right there, there are plans to turn that into a hotel, resort, casino too. So this is going to be a very interesting area in Cebu. Notice as well that it's very near the airport. Currently, if you drive to the airport, probably take you 30 minutes. But again, with that fourth bridge connected to the coastal road, less than 10 minutes, you're already in the airport. Let me also mention to you that the reason why we also consider this really premium is if you could see that blue part in the slide right there, that is the Mactan Channel. Most projects around the world which are situated waterfronting has premium. Most of them are more expensive than most inland projects. So if you could just think about that investment-wise, we have a more premium location right here. In terms of scale, again, this is a big project. This is not one tower, not two, but 21 towers in total. And this sits on a 20-hectare property. So more or less, a hectare will have only one tower. And if you compare that to other developers, mostly a hectare, they would make 2, 3, even 4 towers in a hectare. But in Mandani Bay, there are only 20 towers in 20 hectares. That's almost 1:1 proportion. So then what's in it for you? What's in it for the buyers? These are a lot of open spaces for the residents, the office workers, the shoppers to enjoy here. And for investments, of course, I like the part that, because I've seen Cebu Business Park and IT Park here in Cebu, when they started developing, condos were just priced at around 100,000 per square meter. But when the development started getting completed, the prices doubled. Like in Cebu IT Park now, the prices in IT Park are like 200,000 per square meter. Yes, because, and lucky for those who bought earlier, because they already experienced increase in the value of their properties. So that's always the play in real estate. Buy early so that you could reap the benefits of your investment. As mentioned too, there's water right in front of Mandani Bay. And the nice thing about that is if you're a believer of feng shui, you would love this because, of course, properties fronting water would have better qis and energies flowing through the properties. But outside that, this water would also serve as really nice views. For unit owners here, you have a lot of sea views to choose from. But the best thing for me is that Mandani Bay didn't stop at using the water as views or feng shui purposes. This water will soon be activated with the planned marina in Mandani Bay. So once that gets realized, this water right here, this Mactan channel fronting Mandani Bay will actually be used as a mode of transportation. So if you plan on buying like yachts or speedboats, think of buying Mandani Bay because you probably could dock or park your yachts and speedboats here. All right. Now, embracing nature. One thing that makes Mandani Bay different is it really, you know, the challenges of living in a condo, you're limited to the space that you bought. So if you bought a studio here, could go up to 33 square meters, you have that space. Some prefer buying houses because they like the lawns, they like the yards. But in Mandani Bay, we try to compromise by giving ample condo spaces in their own units, but they could also use, the residents could also use wide open spaces outside the development. And mind you, these are all landscape and green, so it really feels like home. It really feels like your own backyard or your own lawn. And take note as well that when we say embracing nature, the buildings that we build, these are Verde certified. In fact, we got the 4-star certification from Verde, which makes the building really efficient in terms of energy consumption, in terms of ventilation. So these are well thought of and smart buildings to consider. Now, 20 hectares. When you think about 20 hectares, especially for the older ones, like me, I would say it's kind of hard to navigate. It's 20 hectares. It's kind of big, right? So what Mandani Bay did is to make this truly walkable by putting a lot of interconnections. Like this one, as you can see in the slide right now, this is a footbridge that connects one podium to the other. And there will be 4 footbridges here. This will make the development a lot navigable. No? If, say, you live in this tower right here on the right side, and you wish to go to another podium, you don't need to go down the ground, cross the street. You just use the footbridges so that you could just easily walk. This is a very walkable development. Also mentioned earlier is, of course, the scenery given already, of course, because it's waterfronting. You will have a lot of sea views, but this doesn't stop at sea views alone. The other units would also have magnificent views. In fact, I personally, my most favorite view are the park views and the amenity views of Mandani Bay, because the amenities are not just a pool. It's a spacious amenity area, and landscape too. Day and night, you could have a nice view. So you have that. So aside from sea views, you have amenity views, park views, city views, sunset views, and mountain views to choose from. Just talk to your agents and your sellers. Here, we claim that this will be the start of having a world-class lifestyle in Cebu, starting off with a very nice boardwalk soon to be opened in the next maybe a couple of years, or by end of next year, if not early 2022. That boardwalk that you see there will have a lot of greens, a lot of stores as well, and shops. You could dine here, you could wine here, you could shop here. And it's a very leisurely walk that you could have if you have this. This will be the only boardwalk in Metro Cebu, I would say. Yeah, because the boardwalk that we have in Cebu is in Naga, and that's kind of far from here. But this one, think of some of the boardwalks in Singapore. They have some terraced areas in the boardwalk. This will be one of it. This will be an active boardwalk. And lastly, Mandani Bay would not be able to make this world-class if it hadn't engaged the services of other world-class players. So this is not just staffed and Hongkong Land alone. We've also engaged other planners for this. One, for example, is Crone, which is based in Australia. They have a lot of projects there. And the landscape architect is Coen from Singapore. And of course, our interior design is one of Asia's best. He won what we could consider the Oscars of Interior Awards, Interior Design Awards, Pitang Studio, which is based in Hong Kong. So all of these players we engage because we really want to make this project truly world-class. Okay, so I'm just showing you now some photos of Mandani Bay Suites. This is the first phase. The photo that you see on the left is the night view. This was taken last year, so this is not very updated. But the one that you see on the right is a day view, which was taken a few weeks back. So this will be set for turnover early next year, first quarter, they say. So if you notice, a lot of greens underground, and that tower will have really nice views too. Okay, a few more photos of Mandani Bay Suites. They're already starting to test and commission the pool area, doing some landscape too. The one that you see on the right, that's the clubhouse where a lot of amenities are: reading room, karaoke, And on the right side of that, that's the gym overlooking the Mactan channels. How nice is that? While you do your treadmill, you have a very calming view of the Mactan channel. All right. These are the parking areas. Again, these are still ongoing. Okay, these are still ongoing. So there's a little bit of mess here, but once that's turned over, I'm very excited because they also have given us a peek of the interiors of Mandani Bay Suites. So I love that it's very bright. Unlike some of the condo developments here, you feel afraid going through the corridors because they're very dimly lit. This one is brightly lit. And notice that the doors and windows are bigger in sizes compared to the other developments here. This would, of course, allow a lot of natural ventilation in the unit. Okay, some of the finishes, very nice finishes, solid surface and laminates. And if you notice the toilet, just notice the floor to ceiling 60 by 60 tiles. Most of the developments would only stop in the middle. They only stop tiling in the middle. In Mandani Bay, we've tiled from floor to ceiling. Again, these are just a few pictures. These are not yet the handover condition. They're still doing a lot of finishing touches here. And of course, this is a photo, a peg for the drop-off area of Mandani Bay Suites, Towers 1 and 2. Now, what you see now, this is Mandani Bay Key, the second phase, which the sales teams are selling and marketing. Notice that these are composed of 4 towers, 3 of which, Towers 1, 2, 3, are residential, and Tower 4 is the first office tower of Mandani Bay. And notice too that this is the only project in Cebu where you can see 4 towers rising together. Most of the projects here, it's 1 tower at a time. But in Mandani Bay, because this is already funded, so no need to worry if this will complete, because this will complete, again, already funded, all towers will rise together. The benefit for that, for those who have bought some units here, is that, you know, our problem is a big development is that once you already start to live in your tower and the other tower is still constructing, you feel a lot of noise and distraction. Since all of the 4 towers are rising together, you would feel and experience less of that because they're already there. All right. This is Tower 3, which was shown earlier on the video. This is the last residential tower of Mandani Bay Key. And mind you, this is the only fully furnished, digitized designer condominium. What does that mean? This means that the owner of any units here, whether they bought a studio, a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom unit, a studio or a 1-bedroom unit, they would get it fully furnished and designer already. So all they need to do is pack their clothes and they could already start living here. It has a fridge, range hood, induction stove rather, a bed, a sofa bed, dining, etc. That's already there. And this was interior designed by Pitang Tu. He had some inputs in doing the design of the furnitures here. All right. And this one, I think we will see a video of this later too. This is One Mandani Bay, the very first office tower of Mandani Bay as a development. This is 30 floors and it would have 10 elevators, one of the biggest lobbies of office towers here in Cebu. And notice at the very corner, they will have a huge LED screen there, which for me, if you're an investor, you'd like that. Why? Because it makes the tower very prominent and recognizable. So you want that because if you have an address which is recognizable and prominent, you could, as an investor, put a little bit of premium to the rent that you're asking from your buyers. Imagine day and night that will be played. So anyone who passes by North Reclamation area would not miss looking at One Mandani Bay. All right. This too has a helipad. So you could access One Mandani Bay via land, water, and via air too. Because Of course, the helipad is there. So quickly, Stanley talked about some trends that we are seeing because of the pandemic and the lockdowns. These are the things that we have already adopted in Mandani Bay. So upon experiencing the pandemic and the lockdown, of course, everybody got very health and fitness conscious. We want our immune system to be ready if, in case, worst case scenario, knock on wood, we get infected by the virus. Mandani Bay has a lot of health and fitness promoting amenities to choose from. If you notice, this Mandani Bay Key right here sits on a 2.6 hectare land, and a lot of that area is dedicated for amenities. So a lot of open spaces, health and fitness promoting amenities like adult outdoor gym. We have basketball court, a badminton court, an Olympic size pool. So everything you need for health and fitness, it's already there. The pandemic also, as what Stanley has mentioned, also made us realize the greater need for safety, right? So we try to limit the foot traffic within the tower in itself. We do this by using access cards so that not all of the residents would have access to the floor where you live. They will only have access to the floor where they live, and they will also have access to the common areas like the amenity areas and the lobby. Okay? Even the office tower will have this turnstile right here so that not anyone who doesn't even have business in your office could go up to your office area. They need to go to the reception, hand in their identification card, and they would need to verify if they indeed have appointments before they'd be given an access card, which they will use to give them access through these turnstiles right here. Okay? And of course, everybody has undergone or experienced a lockdown, experienced a lot of boredom, right? We're stuck in our own units and we could not do the things we used to enjoy doing. So because Mandani Bay is hyper amenitized, a lot of amenities to choose from. Imagine the 20 hectares right there. A lot of that are amenities the residents could use. So this is something wherein, people could, even if they're locked down here, they could use a lot of these amenities and, still continue doing their lifestyle or enjoying their lifestyle. Of course, a lot of outdoor spaces, which are one of the design principles that Stanley mentioned earlier. You do a lot of outdoors here. In fact, while malls now have lesser traffic because, they say virus could be airborne and it's best to be doing activities outdoors, the retail part of Mandani Bay Key is majority of that is outdoors. So this is the future destination right here. You don't have to go to an indoor mall. Most of the shops are outdoors and very landscape, very nice experience while you walk through or just even do window shopping here. And lastly, of course, we want to go contactless. So the one that Stanley mentioned, the QR code for Bluetooth lock set, we've already implemented that for Mandani Bay Key Tower 3. You don't need a physical key to open your unit. You just need your phone. And that phone, you could just tap on your lock set and that will open your door. Also, interestingly, you could create a QR code so that you could send that QR code to anyone you want to give access to your unit. So all they need to do is receive that unique QR code and they could have access to your unit. Example, you have a sister in town and you're, say, abroad and you brought your key with you. So to give access to your sister, you just need to create the QR code and send it to your sister. He or she could now have access to your unit. That easy. And the community app that will go through all buyers of Mandani Bay. Most of the things that you will do in your condo, you could now do it touchlessly or contactlessly. Why? Because, example, payment of condo dues. Instead of going to the property manager's office, hand your check or your cash to pay your monthly dues, and you do that monthly, you could now pay through your app. Okay? You could also book amenities through your app. So you don't need to call or go to the office to book amenities. Okay, property management concerns can also be addressed by taking pictures of certain concerns and then sending it via your app so that the property management team could readily address your issues about property management. So this is very, very interesting. There's also a plan that if you keep on using the app, you could also gain loyalty points, which you could now claim as gift vouchers or gift checks from the shops within Mandani Bay. Isn't that nice? Okay. Of course, with that, we are inviting everyone is here to please visit our showroom. That's an internationally awarded showroom, by the way. Okay. I think one, if not the only one in Cebu right now. So visit our showroom to see the show flats and all of Mandani Bay's development. It's open from Wednesday to Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please contact your agents, your brokers, and your sellers. Before I end this presentation, I'd just like to remind everyone that our promo for August is still on, and this will end up to the 31st. We have lowered the equity requirement for Mandani Bay Key Towers 2, 3, and 4. So from the usual 25%, we're now only requiring 20%. So get hold of that because that will end on August 31. What does this mean? If you are going to consider buying a studio unit, for example, which is semi-furnished in Tower 2, it used to cost around 26,000 peso a month. But with this promo, it's down to 20,000 peso a month only. So you have more savings on your pocket. For Tower 3, from the usual 29,000 peso a month, it's now down to just 23,000 pesos a month. And this is already a fully furnished smart designer condo. And for Tower 4, from 72,000 pesos a month, it's as low as 56,000 peso a month. You get a world-class development right there. You get a world-class unit. All right. Again, only up to August 31. Please talk to your agents, brokers, and sellers. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much. Blinky, I turn the stage over to you now. Thank you.
And that right there is Mr. Audrey Villa. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, true to its word, being the lifestyle destination, I mean, everything plus more that you need out of life is already there in Mandani Bay, right? It's like a all-in-one destination or project. And speaking of all-in-one, of course, who doesn't want to have an office space nearby, or who doesn't want an office space that promotes productivity? With One Mandani Bay, it is a 30-story office tower that will embrace an ecologically responsive design and will showcase energy-efficient features and amenities. Not only that, it's a grade A office building design for globally competitive businesses. And so, ladies and gentlemen, to learn more about One Mandani Bay and its office or space offices, let's all watch this.
Mandani Bay, Southeast Asia's upcoming urban landmark, begins a new chapter. For the first time, the development expands its offerings from luxury living spaces to world-class workspaces. The 20-hectare waterfront lifestyle destination presents its premier office building. A tower whose tenants will enjoy the best nature-embracing aspects of Mandani Bay's completely integrated property. Aspects such as green expanses between structures that promote well-being and pedestrian-first urban planning. This office tower strives to become a globally competitive hub for modern companies. A canopy drop-off/pickup area and driveway serves as the entrance, which is fronted by a garden and elevated 2 meters from street level. The grand lobby preludes to the fine spaces that await within the structure. This welcome area is about 500 square meters and has a cafe lounge and an open gallery for exhibits and other events. Prospective tenants may create their perfect workplace size from approximately 196 modular units. Each cut is ever modifiable and combinable with other units to form bigger spaces. Designed by world-class partners in property development and supervised by a top-ranking property manager, the building keeps with international standards in sustainable modern infrastructure. It is registered with the Building for Ecologically Responsive Design Excellence program, committing the tower to environmentally sensitive construction. It is registered with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, assuring tenants of the fiscal benefits of Mandani Bay as a special economic zone locator. State-of-the-art. Ecologically responsive. Geared for tomorrow. The future of work in Cebu begins at 1 Mandani Bay.
And there you have it. You have seen for yourself how Mandani Bay literally cemented what it is like to have a world-class development. And right now, you guys, actually, this is now a time for us to have a very interactive segment where we get to ask our panelists some questions. Now, for some reason, if you haven't thought of what question you want to ask or what clarification or inquiries you have in mind yet, I have here some few questions of my own that I will address to both our panelists. I'll start off with you, Architect Stanley. Now, because since you mentioned you really was talking about the reality of things, you know, what we need to do with this pandemic. So I'm going to go to that aspect in living in this kind of development wherein social distancing is still a must. Now, how do we promote human interaction, architect? Like, what kind of design trends do we use for this one?
I think safety has to come first now, obviously. We are not discouraging people to interact, right? Of course, we know interaction is very important, but safety is even more important in this aspect. So our solution is quite simple. There's some devices out there that quite a lot of places are using, thermal scanner, pedestrian monitoring system. This can help to control and somehow safeguard the people that in our community when they have interaction. So I think that's the way. And of course we encourage people to go outdoor. I think to promote more outdoor activities with fresh air. I think these are the basic things that we can do immediately.
Yeah, and still maintain the safety measures and protocols.
Exactly.
And even the community app, I must commend Mandani Bay for having that kind of advancement. I've never heard of, other developments doing that right now. And that truly is still promoting community within Mandani Bay through that particular.
Yeah, I agree. The community app is I have to say it's a very tedious, it's a very carefully considered application, software for the community. In Hong Kong, here in Hongkong Land, we are also having our own community apps in our central portfolio for our employees and our our tenants here. And it's a very similar apps where we work here. We can do a lot of things throughout the apps. We can book restaurant here. We can do our laundry here, and it's a very similar approach. And I'm very glad that Mandani Bay you have these apps for the tenants.
Finally, we can live up to the standard of Hong Kong as well. And I just hope that the internet also will live up to the standard so we can really maximize the app to its maximum limit. And of course, I'd like to also ask Mr. Villa, this question is more of how you see Mandani Bay as a project in terms of a real estate investor. Having said that you are the head of sales of Mandani Bay, is Mandani Bay in your current investment portfolio?
Well, I do a lot of investment talks. Been investing since 10 years back in real estate as well as financial investments. And yes, Mandani Bay is part of the portfolio right now, although I'm still paying. I'm not yet done. But the thing is, the only thing that I could tell the investors out there is buy a property or a project or a development where, number one, you think that you yourself would want to live there.
Yes,
if you don't see yourself living there, forget about it. Okay? Number two, of course, there's a potential of value appreciation, right? Because if you buy a property and the value still do not go up the next few years, what's the purpose, right? So, and based on experience here in Cebu, the most of the properties which really got a lot of value appreciations are the master plan developments within business districts. Okay, you see Cebu Business Park. They used to be selling lots there at 12,000 peso per square meter. Now it's 450,000 per square meter. Because when people see the development, they're more willing to pay more. Just like Mandani Bay. Mandani Bay, it's not yet done now. So this is the best time to buy because, you know, the developments are still not there. But what if when the boardwalk is already there, once the retail shops are there, once the green promenade is there, people would be more willing to pay more. And lastly, think of its rentability. Okay? I'm currently renting some units out here in Cebu. And the one thing I noticed, most of the renters of condominiums, not most, but a handful, are expats. And they like amenities. They like that the condo where they live, they could swim, they could gym, they could do this and that. And of course, Mandani Bay is hyper amenitized. I coined that word because not only can the resident enjoy the exclusive amenities within his podium, there are also other communal amenities which you could use. Not even mentioning the boardwalk and the green promenade. So the whole 20 hectare is his playground.
Yes, indeed, worth investing for. Now is a perfect time while it's early and it's, you mentioned about the numbers, which is also very, very good. And with or without pandemic, of course, properties are really a good investment, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, speaking of pandemic, I'd like to ask Architect again. You can't help but, you know, people really have that fear, you know, the fears of health crisis like COVID-19, for instance. Now that it's still developing, our property is still developing, how do we address to that fear, or how do we make our investors feel a lot more secure knowing that a lot of people will come in and out of the property?
I think this is a very interesting question. I myself living in a similar township project in Hong Kong. As we all know, Hong Kong is very dense, right?
Yes.
And the estate that I'm staying in Hong Kong called Tai Kwu Shing is funny that it's exactly the size of Mandani Bay. It's 20 hectares, and it's way denser than Mandani Bay. We have 61 towers here. And the population you can imagine, but we are not panicked. We are not. We worry a little bit, but we are not panicked. We are not fear. If I can describe a little bit more, yes, it's got affected a little bit, but who's not, right? But you can see people. We are still quite calmly moving around the places. We still have the shopping mall or the retail, the restaurant open, business as usual. We also have our open space here. We also have our park here, and people just gathering a little bit outdoor, and then for a while, and then after a while we go back to our own apartment. So I think it is, if I can say, it is and imagine this is a 30 years old development, and Mandani Bay is a brand new development. So a lot of provision in my estate is very behind. Whatever technology I have just explained a while ago, we don't have it there. We don't have smart lockers. We don't have food lockers. When the guys deliver the food, they deliver to our doorstep, and we have to pick up the food. It is not happening in the old estate. But what we are promoting for Mandani Bay is through a new design approach, new design technology. So we feel safe. But of course, ultimately, it requires some personal behavior, some personal discipline. Personal discipline is always very important. Without personal discipline, no matter what we do, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. So I think I will say that with this all this new technology and new design approach, I think we are helping the community to stay healthy. But so I think that's the best we can do.
Yeah, that is indeed correct, architect, because that is also the objective of why we do this kinds of webinars, to incorporate and invite people to actually work with us. We need to help each other, what the development can do, and also on your part as investors or the people who are actually going to use it would have to also follow some certain protocols for the safety of each and everyone, because safety for one involves everybody now. You can't just think of yourself, but everybody else is at stake at all times. And of course, with that said, I'd also like to ask Mr. Villa about going back to investments now. You mentioned a lot of key features of Mandani Bay compared to other developments. Now, what are the top things that you would say is really the ultimate edge of Mandani Bay?
Well, again, in an investor's point of view, the fact that it is a master plan development, which is going to be very beneficial for investors, that's one. And also the fact that it's new. Because if you consider Cebu as an investment destination, you're probably going to consider IT Park, Cebu Business Park. The issue there is that those developments are already completed, right? So if you're an investor, you'd probably come in already starting to buy at higher prices and may not expect a lot of increase of the value or price because the development is already completed. But in Mandani Bay, since it's new and there are more towers and more features to be unraveled later on, the more that is being unraveled, the prices or the value of the properties go up.
I see it. Yeah.
And also, lastly, I would also say that, again, that is just figures out there. That is just the investment's point of view. In the end of the day, as an investor, you also need to ask yourself, do you really want to live there? If you yourself are the one renting out a unit there or buying a unit there, would you live in Mandani Bay? Absolutely. For myself, I would say absolutely I would live there. It has everything. Accessibility, amenities, everything I would want to have, the way that I live, so that it's there. So that ticks up all the checkpoints for investment.
Yeah, and I think that in terms of development also, I'm sure you would agree with me if I say that this is really a world-class building as it is rising. Like, now that we are incorporating modern technology on how it's built, right, architect? So compared to other buildings as pretty much, very old school development, as I don't know how to describe it.
We're the new players.
It is really a huge impact to invest on something that is really worth investing, such as of Mandani Bay. Any final words, gentlemen, to our participants?
Well, I think, first of all, thank you for HTLAND for inviting me today.
Thank you.
It's been a very interesting morning under the pandemic, under this situation. Well, I hope everybody to stay safe and take good care of yourself and keep healthy.
Thank you so much, Architect Stanley. How about you, Sir Audie?
Well, I'd like to thank Stanley because I know he's a very busy guy. His position states he's the head of design, chief of design for South Asia. So imagine all those places he needs to go to and monitor. So thank you so much, Stan. I'd just like to thank again everyone, all the sellers, the viewers, the guests, the prospects, the buyers, for tuning in again in one of our webinars. We do this very regularly, and I hope you've learned a lot because I know Stanley's presentation earlier was very informative. I myself learned a lot, and I would like to invite also, because we will have another webinar on September 5, that's 10 a.m. Saturday. This time around, we're going to talk about investments 101. So if you're going to consider putting your money somewhere because it's not working for you now for whatever venue that it is in, this is a good place to learn that. So inviting everyone, keep safe and healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well, Mr. Audrey Villa, and of course, Architect Stanley Ng, all the way from Hong Kong, who joined us. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and to the rest of our viewers via Facebook Live. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to all the participants who stayed with us all the way till the very end. Thank you also on behalf of Mandani Bay. Of course, we together, we move forward together, hand in hand. We rise up from any challenges that comes our way. And with Mandani Bay's help and of course the projects, we can navigate this through. This has been your host, Blinky, and please stay tuned because coming up next, we'll be flashing on your screens now and how you can contact us for inquiries and reservations. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe.
Thank you, Stanley. Bye-bye.
Bye, Audie.